Hello, friends. Welcome to the second July vlog for Jane Austen July and Co's Week. And it appears this is actually Rainy from the future. So I'm not filming this on Monday the 6th. I'm filming this on Friday the 10th because I went to start putting my vlog clips together and realized that somehow I deleted my Monday clip and it's nowhere to be found. So I just thought that I would come in here and kind of like introduce the vlog. And I am still, I think the next clip I have is from Wednesday, and I kind of wrap up my last Co's Week read. But I think I said in the last vlog that I was going to give you my thoughts on Dahlias and Death by London Lovett. So I figured I better pop in here and say that. So I finished it, obviously, already, because this is Friday. But I finished it on, I think, Sunday. And it was probably my favorite book of the Port Danby series so far. We got a lot more development in a lot of the characters' relationships. We got a lot more insight into Detective Briggs' past and his frenemy kind of relationship with the other character, Dash. There is a lot of history there, and it was surprisingly intense. Yeah, it took 6 books to kind of figure out why they hate each other, and now we know. So, and then we got to meet Lacey's parents, which was really fun to watch that relationship. And just the July 4th holiday celebration was really fun to read about over last weekend, which was July 4th for the States. So, yeah, I just really ended up enjoying it. It was probably my favorite in the series so far. So I think in the next clip, you are going to see what I read for the prompt of a sci-fi cozy, and also for the prompt of to read something from Kindle Unlimited, because I got a free trial specifically for this readathon. So, all right, I am going to go back to my knitting. I'm car knitting at the moment, so I will talk to you at the end of the vlog, because you will probably see me in my car at the end of the vlog too. All right, bye, friends. Hello, friends. I just realized that it is Wednesday, and I don't think that I filmed at all yesterday. I don't think, for the last day of Cosmas. Or no, not Cosmas. It is not December yet. Co's Week. And so I figured I better pick up the camera and tell you what's been going on. So the last prompt that I needed to read for Co's Week was to read a sci-fi cozy. So I read on the Kindle app, which my friend Sarah from Steeped in Books told me that I can get Alexa to read Kindle books to me. I did not know. Mind blown. So anyway, I had Alexa read me Andorra Pet and the Oort Cloud Cafe by Richard D. And this was for the Sci-Fi Cozy and also for the Kindle Unlimited book prompts. So, this book followed a woman named Andorra Pet, who was actually a human from London, who now lives on Saturn. And apparently something has gone on Earth, and people are moving to other planets. And So Andorra is already there, and she's there with her friend Sid, who is a gay man who basically left his boyfriend or something to come with her to Saturn, and Andorra was fleeing a bad relationship. So they are now on Saturn, and Andorra has bought a cafe from apparently a guy that appears to be sort of like a mobster. Or she's renting the space or something from this guy. That I was kind of unclear on. So, anyway, she finds a body of the former owner in a freezer. And that happens pretty quickly into the book, which I'm not really used to. I feel like with a lot of cozies, um, it kind of has a lot of build up to the actual murder. Like for the London Lovett ones that I read, the Port Danby series, it's probably like a good third, maybe a little more of the book before we actually have a murder. There's a lot of setup, and that seems to be what a lot of cozies are. So this one, it was almost jarring that the murder was like discovered right away, and it almost seemed like they didn't care, the characters. Like I kind of missed it, and I don't know if it was just the way Alexa was reading it to me, if like just the emotion was not there, because Alexa's a little bit robotic the way she reads things. It reads things. It's not really a human, and so yeah. But it was different. I mean, I would say that I gave it 3 stars. I enjoyed it. I thought the whole sci-fi aspect of it was really interesting. I don't read sci-fi generally, so it was just kind of interesting to hear about this, kind of fantastical world that they've made on Mars, and all the like kind of Jetsons-esque things that happened. I used to love the Jetsons when I was a kid, if you know that uh, cartoon from the early 90s. I don't actually know if it was from the early 90s. That's when I was watching it. I don't know if it was like an old show that, like even older, like at the 80s, that I was just watching it later. I don't know. But anyway, it did definitely give me Jetsons vibes because these people were human. Um, at least I think they were. But they were living on a planet like it seemed very futuristic. But anyway, but I just thought that like, and maybe because it was short, it just kind of like everything happened like rapid fire, and but then there was like a huge space of time. Like the murder happened right away, and then there was just a long space of time where I didn't really feel like she was particularly trying very hard to find the murderer. And then, like, at the end, it was really intense. And, whenever the murder was discovered and stuff like that, it was just like really intense, real fast. And then it was over. So, Courtney has assured me that the other books in the series get better and better the more it goes. So, this one might have just been more of like a set up to the world kind of a thing. So I might try the second one because it was very interesting, a sci-fi cozy. But I'm not really sure if that's going to be my thing. But hey, I'm glad I tried it. And, the cover of this book is adorable. I love it. It's very vintagey, very Jetsons like. So I give it props for that. So now I will put a little graphic somewhere here of my bingo card. And I got almost everything, and actually got everything, but I forgot to take a picture of the fact that I was reading while drinking my coffee in the morning. Because, yeah, I drink coffee at like 6:30 in the morning, so I was probably not real with it when I was doing it. So technically, in my head, I got all the prompts. But I can't actually prove that I drank coffee or tea while reading. So, oh well. Sorry, I have a low battery, so I should probably go. But I now am going to focus more on Jane Austen July, and I am going to try to finish Persuasion in the next couple of days. And I also just started a buddy read of A Recipe for Persuasion by Sonali Dev, and I'm 2 chapters into it, and so far it is delightful. It got a little bit intense with one of the characters, like the backstory to the main character's father was a little bit more intense than I had imagined. But I got to switch my brain off from cozy mysteries because this is not a cozy mystery. So, but yeah, but so far I really like it. I really like the, it's already giving me Persuasion vibes, and it's only 2 chapters in, so it's really good. But yeah, I better go because I'm going to probably have a dead phone here in a couple of minutes. But yeah, I will give you more insight onto that when I get more into it. But I'm just going to relax because it's been a very, very long day today. And I just need to relax and do some knitting and maybe now some booktube since I've done a lot of audiobook listening today. So I will hopefully check in with you tomorrow if I don't forget. All right, goodbye. Hello, friends. It is Thursday. And I don't know if I already did an update early this morning. I don't really remember. But update again. I just finished my reread of Persuasion. And I know that I said that I was going to read it physically and not do an audiobook this time. I lied. I I have this thing where I think that I am going to just do an audiobook for like a couple sections, to get caught up or something, and I'll kind of dual read it and listen to audiobook if I have no other option. But then once I start listening to an audiobook, I just finish it that way. So I think that I got a little bit behind in what I wanted my schedule to be for Persuasion early on. And I was just like, well, let's see what this audiobook version is like. And I ended up really enjoying it, and I just kept going that way. But I am happy to report that this experience of Persuasion, even reading it via audiobook, was so much better than the first time I listened to it. And I don't know if I just paid closer attention this time or if it was that I listened to it on a slower speed. I don't know, but I just got so much more out of it. The humor was so much funnier to me this time. And Captain Wentworth, his proposal at the end, spoiler alert, was just so much more romantic than I remembered it being the first time. So I definitely think that Persuasion is now raised in my opinion from before. So I still am trying to think about what my ranking would be, because people have definitely asked me to do like my Jane Austen ranking, and I'm still scared of that. But I think what I might try to do, because the only 2 left that I've only read once and don't really have like a really in-depth opinion on at this point are Mansfield Park and Northanger Abbey. So I think that if I can, I'm going to try to squeeze those 2 into an audiobook at some point in this month. And then maybe at the end of July or maybe even the beginning of August, we'll, maybe for Austen August or whatever, I will be able to do a ranking of Jane Austen. We'll see. So anyway, yeah, it was just delightful. I definitely think that this one, Persuasion, and Pride and Prejudice, maybe Emma too. I was going to say that this one and Pride and Prejudice are the most humorous, but I also think Emma's really funny. And parts of Sense and Sensibility are funny, although it's not quite as humorous as the other three. But I definitely think that Persuasion is one of the funniest of Jane Austen's. And I'm really finding that I just love Jane Austen's humor. Her characters are just so witty, and her ridiculous characters are just so ridiculous, but at the same time not like unrealistically so. Like, like they are based in like reality of how people would act. They're just maybe heightened ridiculousness a little. But like, I read Evelina last year by Frances Burney, and her ridiculous characters were like caricatures of people. Like, they were so ridiculous and crazy and like over the top. Like, no human beings are actually, well, not none, but most are not actually that ridiculous and have no redeeming qualities. And I think the brilliance of Jane Austen in that time, at least, is that she makes characters funny and ridiculous, but you're like, oh yeah, I could see so and so doing this, or yeah, this person reminds me of this person, and it's just much more realistic, and you kind of like feel for them in a way, even if they're like your crazy characters like Mr. Collins. I feel like if you kind of look deeper into Mr. Collins' character, you can see why he is the way he is. And it's just much more three-dimensional characters than I have seen in my very limited reading of other characters of that time period from other authors. So anyway, that's my analysis of of Jane Austen as a whole. And yeah, Persuasion just had so many funny characters. Her sister Mary was ridiculous. Her father was like so frustrating. And just, I can't even imagine how Anne would put up with that, and but there were just a lot of nice characters too. So yeah, it was a good read. It's going to be one of my favorites now, I think. So now, oh, I got really dark all of a sudden. There we go. So now I am going to take a little break. I'm on, if you can see, like, there's bright sky, but I'm obviously in my car. I'm on my lunch break at work because we're back to that now. I don't get to work from home anymore. So I'm on my lunch break at work, and I am going to, I think, maybe watch a little booktube. I have a crazy amount of watch later videos that I need to try to get through. So I'm going to do that, and then when I get back to work, I'm going to try to get up to date with my buddy read of Hero of Ages that I am doing with Victoria from A Musical Bookworm. So I kind of like messed up my own schedule with that, and was on like a different day that we were supposed to get to a certain point than Victoria was, and we did not discuss that. So my fault. So I'm trying to get like to the point where I'm kind of where she's probably at this point. So I'm enjoying it. I don't like find myself wanting to read that one though. I think just because it's so intense, and I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, I just want nice Jane Austen reads. I just want fluffy, and not that Jane Austen's fluffy, but you know what I mean, just like comforting, I guess is more the word, and yeah, and Hero of Ages is definitely been intense and at times gross, and yeah, just lots of things happening. So it's really interesting, and I'm glad that we're able to finish the main series together, but I just don't find myself picking it up as frequently as I should be. So that's going to be the afternoon for me, I think. So, but right now I'm going to watch some BookTube and knit. So, because I brought my knitting in the car. So, I will talk to you maybe tonight. All right, bye. Hello, friends. It is now Friday, and I decided that today is going to be a BookTube day, meaning that I am going to try to get through my watch later list and possibly all of the videos that pop up today. We'll see. I mean, thankfully with BookTube, usually the videos are just talking, so I can listen while I work and not have to like focus on it. And then I could like save vlogs and things that are more visual for like lunchtime maybe. Or, if it's slow or something like that, which it hasn't been, but we can cross our fingers that Friday will be slow, I guess. So, but reading wise, I probably will try to just watch BookTube today during work. But if I miraculously get my watch later list down to a manageable amount or zero, which is my goal, then I am going to try to read some of Jane Austen's letters. I need to listen to a couple more chapters of The Recipe for Persuasion by Sonali Dev. I want to try to keep up with at least like a couple chapters, 2 or 3 chapters a day on that, because I'm buddy reading that with Krista. So we didn't really discuss like a reading schedule or anything, but that's kind of like where I want to be with it. And also, I should start. I forgot that I was going to read the Elegant Etiquette for a nonfiction Jane Austen work. So I might like try to read just like a chapter of that or something. So we'll see. But my main priority today is going to be BookTube because it's starting to overwhelm me how far back I have to go to watch these videos. So, yikes. It's like the beginning of June. So, I need to get on it. So, but yeah, that is my day planned. Thankfully, it is Friday. And yeah, it's supposed to be a rainy weekend. So I'm hoping that that affords me a lot of just like reading and knitting time. Well, and laundry, because now that I'm back to work full time, laundry's a thing that I gotta do at least once a week. So, sigh, adulting. But anyway, I will talk to you all later, possibly tomorrow, depending on what I get done tonight. But all right, I will see you later. Bye. Hello, friends. It is Saturday now, and I apologize. I, I kind of feel like I look like a troll, but I couldn't just be bothered with doing my hair on a Saturday. I mean, now that I'm back to work full time in the office, like weekends are just my I don't care days. So now, granted, I haven't quite gotten back into the I care portion of my regular job either, so they have gotten more casual days than they've gotten, professional days from me. But yeah, weekends are definitely like I don't care. So lucky you, you get to see me in my weekend glory. So anyway, yesterday, and probably at the beginning of this video, you will see that I discovered that I did not, or that I lost the clip from Monday. So that's exciting. So hopefully I did an okay job of recounting what I finished for Co's Week. Vlogging life. So, but today I am kind of doing a housework day because it is really cruddy outside. It's been raining since yesterday afternoon. And granted, we need it. Like, we have had almost no rain for the past few weeks. Like, we'll have a shower here and there, but not nearly enough to, saturate anything. So the grass is getting like really brown and all that stuff. So we definitely need rain this weekend, but it's not really conducive for like going out and being outside and whatnot. So, so I'm using this as an opportunity to get my housework done, which is my basic weekend plan anyway. And I'm also going to attempt to get my sock done. This is the second sock of my Felici summer camp. I believe this is the sock yarn that I'm using. I think it's called Summer Camp. Perfect for right now. For Summer Sock Camp by that Kay from the Crazy Sock Lady is doing. And I was like, yes, I need to make a pair of socks, and that would be a great opportunity. So this might be my only entry into Summer Sock Camp, unfortunately, but I have too many projects going on right now. So I might be playing a little yarn chicken because I only have this much of this particular skein of yarn left, and I need to probably do about 2 or 3 more rows, or 2 or 3 more stripes. So I don't know. They might be a little mismatched, but you know what? They're socks for me. I don't care. I'll be a little bit better if I make some gift socks, but these are just for me. So, and this is my first time using Felici sock yarn, and I love it. So I'm definitely going to be using more. But so this is my knitting content for this vlog. But that is my plan for today, is to hopefully get that done, because I need to start making some baby items for a friend. And I have a lot of time, but yeah, I just got informed that I need to start making some baby items. So I need to finish some of my projects so that I can start that, so that I have them done in time. And let's see, what else can I say? Oh, as far as reading goes, because that's what you're here for, really, right? I decided to listen to the short story Cousin Phyllis by Elizabeth Gaskell today. I started it last night, but didn't get it finished, so I'm trying to finish it today. It's a really short short story, obviously. So I'm listening to it on 2 times speed, so I should be able to get it done in the next hour or so. But this is for Kate Howe's A Read Along Most Victorian, and I have basically failed every Victorian read-along book that she has done since she started that series. Like, I'm always like, yes, I'm going to do this read-along with you, and then I totally fail. So I am going to at least make sure that I listen to Cousin Phyllis this month, because one of my 2020 goals was to read all of Elizabeth Gaskell's novels or all of her works. And so what better way to get on that than reading some of her short stories? I'm totally failing in every other aspect of that goal. But maybe next month I will read Mary Barton. I should. I don't know. I'll have to talk to my friend Jo Smith. We're going to be reading Maurice together next month, but maybe also, no, I don't want to do that to her. We'll just read Maurice next month. Maybe in September we can read Mary Barton together, or one of her works, if depending on what Jo has read. But Jo, if you're watching this, we need to come up with an Elizabeth Gaskell to read together, because I need to get on this. So anyway, and that's really all and I'm still reading my buddy read with Krista of Recipe for Persuasion by Sonali Dev. I'm really enjoying it. We have both been saying that we need to separate ourselves from trying to make it an exact retelling of Persuasion, because it is not. One thing is that we are getting both the that Anne Elliot character and the Captain Wentworth character. We're getting both of their perspectives, whereas in actual Persuasion, we only get Anne's perspective. So we never really know what Captain Wentworth is thinking until the end of the novel. And in this one, we know what the Captain Wentworth character is thinking the entire time. So that's a little bit disconcerting if you're looking at it as a retelling of Persuasion. But there are definite elements that Sonali Dev is putting into her book that are definite Persuasion elements. So there's definitely characters that mirror, the characters of Persuasion. There are elements that, like the Captain Wentworth character, he says how changed the Anne character is whenever he first revisits her and is reintroduced to her. He makes that. In this one, it's more in his head. Like, he says, he thinks about, like, wow, how different she is than when he dated her. And that's definitely an element that is in Persuasion. But in Persuasion, Captain Wentworth actually says it out loud. He's like, wow, how changed she is. And it's more like, she takes it as more like, oh, she must look like old and haggard now. and maybe that is what he meant. I don't know, but I doubt it. And in this one, the character Rico is his name, but he's the Captain Wentworth character. Rico makes an observation just in his thoughts that the Anne Elliot character, whose name is Ashna in this, she is very changed because she used to be very independent and very strong. And now, because of events that have happened in her life, she's just very nervous, very unsure of herself. She feels a lot of guilt for things that have happened in her past, and he just sees that as being weakness on her part. So it's definitely not a direct retelling, but it's very good, and it's a romance. It's a contemporary romance, which I don't read a lot of, and I'm trying to get more into, mostly because of my friends Sarah from Steeped in Books and Chloe from oh God, why can't I think of what her name, her channel name is? But Chloe, you all know who Chloe is. And what? Oh my gosh. Wow, I'm gonna put it here because I just completely blanked on her channel name, and Bree Hill, because she is a delight as well, and they all read romance a lot, and I'm a bitter single lady, and I don't often like to read about contemporary romantic happiness, so that's a failing on my part, maybe, but but I'm trying to get better. So, but anyway, this has been like a 10-minute clip, so I'm going to go. But I'll check in. I'll check in tomorrow, and this has been really rambly, and I'm sorry, but this is the kind of riveting content that you're here for, right? Okay, I'm gonna go. Bye. Crap. I am on like the last stripe of my knitting of my sock before I start the cuff. And look, you can tell that I dropped a stitch and I really don't know what to do. So I have a Voxer message into my knitting guru, Sarah from Steeped in Books, to ask her what the heck should I do about that. So I can't believe I did that. Like, I literally did a whole sock and didn't drop a stitch. And then, like, right at the end, I was going too fast is basically what happened here. I was going too fast trying to get it done, and I wasn't paying attention and freaking dropped a stitch. So hopefully she has some good insight for me on how to fix this. But now it looks like I probably won't be getting this done today because I'm going to put this aside until I hear from her. Hi friends, it is actually Monday morning again. That seems to be a trend with my vlogs of late. But I just wanted to let you know the last thing that I read over the weekend. So I started and finished the short story Cousin Phyllis by Elizabeth Gaskell. And I was reading this dually as part of my goal to read all of Elizabeth Gaskell's works, preferably in the year of 2020, but I'm kind of failing on that. I did reread North and South, but I reread it. I need to be reading things that I haven't read. But anyway, Kate Howe is doing a read-along of Cousin Phyllis and some other of her short stories this over the next couple of months. Actually, I think this might be the last month, so I better get to those other short stories. But I wanted to definitely make sure that I read Cousin Phyllis. This was really good. It was your typical great Elizabeth Gaskell writing. The characters, I thought, for a short story were very compelling. It was told from the perspective of a man, which I wasn't expecting. I mean, with a name like Cousin Phyllis, I assumed she would be the narrator, but she wasn't. It was told from the perspective of Phyllis's cousin, Paul. And it's just all about kind of unrequited love and how it affected women back then, and probably how it affects them now, or some of them. But yeah, Cousin Phyllis is a young girl, 17, when this story opens, and she meets her cousin Paul, who he quickly realizes that while he loves Phyllis, he's not in love with Phyllis. So he introduces her to a friend of his, and as you can imagine, that friend is kind of a jerk and leads Phyllis to believe that he is in love with her. And when we finally discover that he's not, all the things ensue. And yeah, in typical Victorian fashion, the woman doesn't handle it well, and there's all kinds of drama surrounding her. But in also, I feel like typical Elizabeth Gaskell fashion, at least from what I've read, there is some hope at the end. It's not all bleak. There is the negative side of it, but we get a little bit of hope for her to recover, some of her dignity, or, however she feels that she has been treated, to get back to what was. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was another good read for me. I would say it's hard to rate a short story, really, I feel like, because there's not a lot that you can do to really develop the characters. But by the same token, I feel like Elizabeth Gaskell did a really good job of making her characters very three-dimensional in such a short span of time. So again, really loved it. Can't really rate it, but I thought it was really good. So this vlog, I feel like, was kind of a mess. And I lost a clip and, whatever. But I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope you will join me in my next vlog. Since it's Monday morning, again, I am going to try to film the intro to that right after this. And hopefully I won't lose that clip this time. I think what I did last time is I thought, when I was deleting the clips off of my computer, I thought that because I was in the same clothing as the clip before it, I thought that they were all the same, and I just deleted them all. So I'm gonna have to be more careful this time, but yeah, anyway, I hope you have a great week, my friends, and I will speak to you in my next video. Bye.